be equal. And believe me when I tell you, women have proved here that they are equal. They have absolutely proven themselves, and people love the women's fights. These women become the
UFC President Dana White has just delivered a massive bombshell message directed straight at former bantamweight queen Ronda Rousey, all because of one fighter, the undefeated British sensation Dakota Diva. After witnessing Dakota's brutal knockout power, lightning-fast kicking speed, elite-level skills, and a winning record that's nothing short of phenomenal, Dana White had to speak up. Ronda didn't stay silent either. She fired back on Twitter with a response that got everyone talking. Stay tuned as we break down Dakota's insane statistics, her devastating fighting style, her championship pedigree, and why UFC legend Dan Hardy is making comparisons that have ignited a fire under Ronda Rousey's legacy. Let's dive in and see how this situation exploded. UFC legend and respected analyst Dan Hardy recently appeared on the Bloody Elbow podcast to discuss 26-year-old Dakota Ditcheva, and what he said was absolutely explosive. Hardy didn't just praise the undefeated PFL champion. He threw down a gauntlet that shook the MMA world to its core. He stated, "I could make the argument right now that she could beat anybody in this weight class on the planet." Let that sink in. Anybody on the planet. Before Ronda fans come after us, it's important to note why Hardy's words carry legitimate weight. Dakota Ditcheva isn't just hype. She's the real deal, and the numbers prove it. Entering 2025, Dakota boasts an immaculate 15-0 professional record, 0 losses, and a right hand that can end fights instantly. Another big statement. Another reason the MMA world is buzzing.
Dakota Ditcheva, right hand on the head of face. Another knockout for Dakota.
But here's what's truly terrifying. She has a 90% finish rate. That's not a typo, 90%, with 12 knockouts and 1 submission. Dakota doesn't just win fights, she ends them. In 2024, she captured the PFL Women's Flyweight World title and secured a $1 million prize, doing so in dominant fashion by dismantling former UFC title challenger Taylor Santos in just 2 rounds. For context, Santos is the same fighter who pushed the legendary Valentina Shevchenko to the absolute limit, but Dakota made it look effortless. The kicking speed, born on July 25, 1998, in Manchester, England. Dakota was already a Muay Thai world champion at just 17, winning gold at the 2016 IF World Championships before transitioning to MMA. Her kicks are fast, precise, and absolutely devastating. What makes Dakota so dangerous is her well-rounded skill set. She's not just a striker or a grappler. She can finish fights anywhere. Her takedown defense is elite, her ground game solid, and her striking world-class. At 26, Dakota is in her absolute prime, with next-level conditioning that allows her to maintain explosive speed and power throughout entire fights. She's a complete athlete, possessing the same fearless confidence Ronda Rousey had in her prime, but with the well-rounded skills of a new generation fighter. To understand why this comparison hits so hard, it's important to recall how Rousey's career ended. At UFC 207, she suffered a brutal 48-second knockout loss to Amanda Nunes, looking completely outmatched on her feet. An unceremonious end to one of the most dominant reigns in MMA history. Let's be clear, Ronda Rousey was a trailblazer. She shattered barriers and gave legitimacy to women's MMA when few believed in it. She went 12-0 with 11 first-round finishes, became the first UFC Women's Champion, and carried the division while the sport was still finding its footing. But MMA evolved. Fighters became more well-rounded, and Ronda's one-dimensional approach was eventually exposed.
Nunez with a big right hand.
Big combination.
What did Dana say? The message was clear. While White respects Rousey's legacy, his focus has shifted to the next generation of stars, like Dakota Ditcheva. And the silence surrounding a Rousey comeback might be the loudest statement of all. Sources close to the situation reveal that the UFC has been closely monitoring Dakota. But there's a problem. The PFL is holding tightly to their biggest star after denying a recent trade request. Dana White knows star power when he sees it. He built Ronda into a household name, and now he's watching Dakota do things that remind him of those early Rousey days, but with even more tools in her arsenal. The UFC wants Dakota Ditcheva. Dana White wants Dakota Ditcheva. The question is, can they actually get her? That's the million-dollar question. Then came Ronda's response, taking to Twitter after the news broke. She addressed the situation with a message that displayed both grace and a hint of defiance. The tweet immediately went viral, dividing fans down the middle. Some praised Rousey for her composure and for acknowledging Dakota's talent, showcasing the maturity and class that come with being a true legend of the sport.
With body shots. Combination again, punching her way out of these clinches. Nava not able to match speed on the outside. Crashing in again. Oh, beautiful knee. Oh, the clinch is really working for Ditcheva. She gets the turn, and then the knee finds its way to the face of Sumiko Nava, and an elbow for Dakota. Nava can't take a lot of those knees.
Others felt she was downplaying the legitimate comparison, protecting her legacy from a fighter who might actually surpass it. Stepping back, it's important to see what this all really means for women's MMA. The truth is, both perspectives have merit. Ronda Rousey was a trailblazer who shattered ceilings and gave legitimacy to women's MMA when few believed in it. She carried the division on her back and turned female fighters into mainstream attractions. But Dakota Ditcheva represents the evolution. She's what happens when you take Ronda's star power and championship mentality and combine it with modern, well-rounded MMA skills. She's the next generation. Sumiko Inaba dropped a bombshell on Dakota Ditcheva, and Dakota fired back with full confidence. Listen to what she had to say. As the face of the PFL, she challenged, "If I take out the face of the PFL, am I the face of the PFL now?"
Get down her.
That she's gonna have now getting up.
is going to be unbelievable. And there it is. Beautiful knee from the plum. And Bishop American Jenna Bishop back to her feet and goes immediately on the attack. Bishop in trouble. And that does it. First round finish, and Dakota Ditcheva silences doubters.
After this brutal warning, Dakota didn't stop there. She responded to Sumiko Inaba with confidence and fire, saying, "They literally want to come in and take everything I have. That's how I have to approach every single fight. I have to protect every ounce of my career, my life. Expect fireworks, and you won't be disappointed on July 19th. She's no walkover, but I don't think she's on my level. I'm going to show that in South Africa."
The face of PFL. If I take out the face of PFL, am I the face of PFL?
Wow. Just wow. Dakota made it crystal clear. This wasn't just another fight for her. It was about defending everything she's worked for and everything she's built. And that line, "I don't think she's on my level. I'm going to show that in South Africa," isn't trash talk, it's a promise. Dakota Ditcheva has a reputation for keeping her promises inside the cage.